ER was the first big, really big show that I worked on. It was, I don't know if people watching it now realize, it was an intense show to work on. I mean, the movement, the steady cam, the volume of costumes, the volume of actors, the fact that we were creating a hospital, all the floors of a hospital that had to be instantly recognizable. And yeah, by season 7 or whatever, I would hear people say, well, Lyn, I don't know what you do all day. I mean, doesn't everyone come dressed? Don't the extras come dressed? And I'd be like, well, no. We had to dress every single person head to toe for that show because of the blood. You certainly couldn't have an extra, you dress them in their own clothes and then have them come to the set and they brush up against somebody and their clothes are destroyed. There was none of that. So it was a massive, massive undertaking, and just the size of the scripts. The scripts were so dense, and the pace of the show was insane. And I think it's still, to this day, the hardest show I ever worked on in terms of trying to, one, maintain the look and the realism and the fact that, you're transporting the audience to not a pretty place. And I feel like pretty is easy. Doing a show where you're doing high fashion or, sweet costumes from a specific period, pretty I find easier, but realism, making something look real and understanding that you're taking the audience to what could be a very dark place, but also a very funny place, but that they're never drawn out of the story because something doesn't look aged correctly or something doesn't look true to Chicago. I think that is a really hard thing to do in our business, and the amount of work that went into every single costume on that show was really, really, really just intense. And then on top of all of that, to hear people say, oh, well, doesn't everyone, hear even people in our business say, well, don't people come dressed? I used to get sort of a little bit hurt, and I at one point did say to John Wells, it's just heartbreaking to me. My crew works so hard, and then people say, oh, well, it's just scrubs. And he turned to me and said, Lyn, but that's the best compliment you could get because everyone thinks it's real. That's the best compliment you could be given, is that people think that you don't do anything.